Hi, welcome back to the tutorial series on Proximal One. So this is part 3, and this time we're going to have a look at the Waveplayer settings in the audio instance and just go over each and see what they do. So currently we've got a couple of different audio things set up here. So we've got a drum track and we just got the default melody that's playing. Just going to move that drum track out of the way. And if I just press play, and you can sort of hear it, that's the default sound. So currently we've got live editing enabled on this sample, so on this instance, so we can change things whilst it's playing. So if I just get control of the mouse again, so there's this one. And I'm just going to change the sample. So the first one, we've got sound to play, so we can change that in runtime while it's playing. So if we just click on the magnifying glass, and I'm just going to change it to this one, this uplifting one. So if I select that and then click on the arrow, it should change it. So yeah, you hear it stopped and then it restarted on the next bar. So next setting, we've got BPM of audio sample. So we need to tell Unreal what the tempo of the sample is, and the reason why is because it needs to recalculate things. So if we were to change the clock tempo to a higher tempo, like say 150 BPMs, which we'll do now. I'll just stop that and just come into here quickly. I'll change that to 150. You can hear that it's kept everything in time, and that's because it knows the tempo of the sample. So, and I'm just going to change it back for a sec. We go back into it. So what else have we got here? So where has it gone? So the next setting we've got is the beat that the audio starts from. So basically that determines the start position. So when you hit play or when the instance is triggered, it's going to start it from that beat. So I normally just keep that to 1, which means it will start at the beginning of the audio clip. But you can set that to something, further along, like the 9th beat, for example, would keep it musically timed. And loop audio, that just means it will loop the audio over. And then you've got 2 settings after that which determine how it loops or where it loops from. So in the file name, there's a few things that can help you out. So with all of the demo samples, you've actually got at the end, you've got the key that it's in and the tempo. So if you need to know that number to enter in, you can just find it at the end of the sample. Most of these demo samples are 120 BPM, but some of them aren't. And then you've got this one, LB1, which means loop begins on beat 1, and LD128, which means the loop duration is 128 beats. So you could just enter that in here. And all of these loops have been made so that they'll loop perfectly over with these numbers without any clicks or anything. And so let's just have actually for the next one, I'm just going to change the clock tempo again, so we can demonstrate what that does. So if I set that to 150 and press play, so you notice it's pitched the audio sample up, which is kind of what you would expect when you increase the speed of audio. It's like what you'd get on a turntable or like an old cassette player. It's that sort of thing. But let's say just we wanted to keep the tempo the pitch as the original pitch. We could use this feature. So if you tick that now, you hear it actually pitches it back down. So that's really useful if your audio sample files are at a different tempo from what you're currently working on. So that's what that does. And then the next setting we've got is transpose semitones. So if we adjust that, here we can actually transpose the audio as well. So that's useful if you're using audio samples that are in a different key, so you can transpose them. Or you might want to use it for some interesting effects. But yeah, that's essentially what that does. And then you've got pitch correction buffer delay in milliseconds. So what that does is the pitch correction node in the metasound graph uses a buffer, and that just changes the delay that the buffer is operating at. So the default value is sort of set to sort of sound the best that you could probably get it using that node, but there might be cases where if you play around with it, you might actually improve the sound quality. It's worth knowing that this pitch correction it can affect the transient detail, so it doesn't work so great for things like drums, where you're relying on strong transients. So it might sound a little bit sloppy, but I find that drums, they're not too bad sounding pitched up. It depends how extreme you go, really. Ideally, you want to find a drum track that actually is set to the correct pitch for the correct tempo for what you're working on. Okay, so what have we got next? We've got this play random pitch in key. So to demonstrate that, I've just gone ahead and added a bunch of audio instances, and these are just playing like short one-shot samples that aren't looped, with each instance set to trigger by player's collision with the collision box of each. And so all of these instances are the same, but they've all got this ticked. So if I hit play, you can sort of get an idea of what this actually does. So yeah, as you can hear, like everything was sort of playing a random pitch. And so if you look at the next setting, we've actually got a drop-down menu with a bunch of different scales that you can choose from. So this will help you pick the right scale for what you're working on. And there's a couple of other options here as well. So you can set it to octaves only, for example, and then it will just pitch it up and down an octave, or it will keep the pitch to the original. So yeah, other than that, in this section is just a refresh button for live edit mode. But yeah, that kind of covers it really. So in the next video, I think we're going to look at the triggering of the instances, because we haven't covered that yet. So yeah, that basically is how you would start to actually structure things in your level, so that you can trigger things with the player's position and stuff, and determine how you want to stop the audio. And yeah, it might be a little longer, that video, because we got to cover the exit triggers as well. So just quickly, what an exit trigger is basically when the audio is triggered to stop on an instance, it can send a trigger signal to another instance to tell it to start, and it will do it on the quantization boundary, which will keep it musically timed as well. So you can literally switch between instances, audio samples, meta sounds, whatever you want to say. Yeah, you can switch between them musically timed. So yeah, powerful feature. Yeah, so hopefully you'll come back and check that one out too. Yeah, I think that's it for now. Okay, thanks for watching.